Hello friends, how you doing? Day 1554. Hope you're doing amazing on this Tuesday night. I just want to come in and just share with you a little bit about what I'm learning here. So, an important element of any relationship is trust. And a lot of people, I think, nowadays have trust issues. And totally get it. We go through stuff, we get heartbroken, we get betrayed, stuff happens, life happens, right? And but what is trust? What does it give us? Trust is being able to know that we can count on the other person. And what trust does is it provides us security, to feel safe, that we can actually accept comfort, reassurance, assistance, and affection from our partner. On the flip side, if we don't have trust, that interferes with our ability to actually form a healthy relationship. And it can actually leave us feeling lonely and misunderstood as well. And so trust is definitely a foundational building block to not just romantic relationship, but any type of relationship, whether it be business, whether it be friendship, any, right? And so again, like I said, if you were betrayed or, abandoned or something, obviously, it could create some trust issues. And it's a totally perfectly logical response. But does it serve you today? That's the question I have for you. Okay? And so again, trust, if you have mistrust or issues, it can impact every relationship you have and create a lot of issues in the future for any type of relationship. And so I'm going to go through some potential signs of trust issues. So do you have trust issues? No, what am I saying? Trust issues. And so as I go through some of these potential signs, just ask yourself if you have these, right? So number one, focusing on the negative. Do you focus on the negative? Do you assume the worst about others and focus on their weaknesses? If you do, that's a potential sign of trust issues. Number two, perfectionism. Sometimes we don't trust others, so we need to do everything ourselves. Are you like that? Or are you always suspicious? Do you always or consistently believe that others are insincere or have ulterior motives? Do you always question people? Do you avoid intimacy? I think that's a big one for many people. Because true intimacy requires both trust and vulnerability. So you have to be able to trust yourself and the other person and be willing to be vulnerable. That's the only way you can create true intimacy with another person. Next trust issue or sign, potential sign, is holding grudges. Do you hold grudges? Or do you forgive? Are you able to forgive? Are you able to let go? Because it takes trust again in both yourself and others in order to forgive them and to move on and to actually develop a relationship. Do you create drama or chaos in order to actually avoid dealing with the real issues? Do you distract yourself? Do you keep to yourself so that you don't have to share your inner thoughts or your feelings? Do you avoid commitment? Do you avoid situations where you need to actually be vulnerable? Another potential sign is look for evidence. Are you always looking for evidence to prove the truth that they are not trustworthy? Because sometimes we create this self-fulfilling prophecy, right? What you look for is typically you'll find. So what are you looking for? Another sign is if you have a partner, is your partner untrustworthy? Because we're more likely to actually attract untrustworthy partners if we trust people less. Think about that. How about smothering? Are you overprotective of your inner circle? That is your family and your friends, those closest to you. And lastly, do you have fears of abandonment? And what is that? That's consistent feelings of loss or abandonment. And again, a lot of this comes from experiences in our past, maybe from our childhood, maybe even in our adulthood or teenage years. Who knows? But the question is, why are you holding on to it? Is it serving you? Because if you display many of those signs, potential signs of trust issues, then you may be attracting the wrong type of person into your life. One that is untrustworthy. And again, you may not even realize that you're doing it. Maybe you are drawn to what feels familiar based on your past versus actually what is good for you. Right? And, you can call that trauma bond or what have you, or whatever. It could be a number of things, but maybe familiarity is attracting an unhealthy partner. Excuse me. Allergies are killing my throat. An untrustworthy partner. Or maybe you have low self-esteem. So maybe you have a negative self-perception, or you engage in self-sabotaging behaviors because you don't feel that great about yourself. Hence, you kind of settle. So for someone who doesn't treat you like how you should be treated. Or maybe you have a fear of vulnerability. And again, it's possible that we fear being vulnerable ourselves. So we attract a partner that also has trouble being vulnerable. All these things are subconscious. It's unconscious. It's not something that we really think about or realize that we're doing. However, it may be something that is stopping you from actually having or creating or developing a healthy relationship. The one that you actually want and deserve. We all deserve love, my friends. But sometimes we're screwing it up ourselves. Unknowingly, of course. But how do we get over it? We have to heal. We have to learn and develop different tools to help us move forward in the different areas. And so, just some things for you to think about, my friends. Like I said, my throat is very scratchy because my allergies right now, so I'm just going to keep it relatively short. Just some things for you to think about. Because, again, I want you to have a phenomenal relationship, not just with yourself, but with others as well. And again, having trust is a foundational building block to have that in any type of relationship. And if you're self-sabotaging or having issues that are stopping you, then you'll never be able to have that in your life. And, that may create a jaded view of the world when it doesn't have to be. Okay? But step number 1 is awareness, my friends. You got to be aware of how you are and where you are in your life. Okay? That's it for tonight. Love you all. I'll see you guys tomorrow.